Can you see these tears coming down my eyes?
I can't.
No, you are. Please. Okay. I'm just a fake. I'm just full of contradictions. What else can I say? I think that sums it all. There are two girls I know who are called Diva because their mothers went into labor after eating a Diva.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Ritu Dalmia isn't here to play the part of the perfect chef. She's sharp, self-deprecating, deeply authentic, and she spent decades doing things her own way. Over the years, she's let go of culinary dogma, embraced local ingredients, and built restaurants that reflect not just her taste, but also her love for people. Whether she's teaching India how to eat Italian or catering the most exclusive weddings, Ritu leads with emotion, instinct, and an unapologetic sense of humor. In this episode, we talk about food, yes, but also about growing older, being vulnerable, and why a dish is never just a dish. It's a story on a plate. My chat with Ritu was a little messy, a little salty, and filled with lots of stories. Obviously, I had to go with something classic but punchy, like the roasted makhana and peanut chikki by Bombay Sweet Shop. Hi Ritu, welcome to Big Food Energy. Thank you so much for being here.
Anything for you, Smitha?
I wonder how many people you've said that to.
Only to you. I promise you. Only to you.
No, but honestly, it's really a pleasure to have you here. I don't think I've told you this before, but before I got into food writing, I used to work in television, and I used to work at NDTV Good Times in the Bombay office. And of course, NDTV Good Times was the same channel that you did your show on. There were two shows, Italian Khana and Traveling Diva.
That's right.
And I mean, even though they got produced in Delhi, they would still come to the Bombay office every now and then to get edited or, something or the other. And I remember sitting back and watching the rushes, and it was just so inspiring to see this woman traveling the world and eating great food and meeting people. And it was just so inspiring to a cub producer like me. There's a saying that you can't be what you can't see.
Oh.
And so I think that, that kida of food writing and a career in food was really sort of cemented in my head.
Can I tell you?
Thank you.
Can you see these tears coming down my eyes?
I can't.
No, you are. Please. Okay. But when you talk about that show on NDTV Good Times, it wasn't only me who was traveling the world. Okay, the whole team, Delhi team, my producer that time was Monica Narula.
Yes.
And, there was Asavari, there was Rajat. For them also, it was really the first time. Yeah. But for me, the inspiration that came after that show was Italian food is not in big towns. Italian food is in small towns, in small villages. So I was doing the research, I was writing the script, I was getting in touch with all the nonnas and the grandmothers. Yeah. And so it has touched both of us.
Absolutely. And I think that was the NDTV way. They just threw you in the deep end and you learned.
Yes.
But yeah, it is really lovely to be having this conversation. So thank you for making the time.
My pleasure.
Ritu, you've spoken about how you grew up in this Madhu household. Obviously food was central, and you're someone who's sort of not been afraid to be yourself. But on the same hand, you were also kind of intimidated by Indian food to actually make Indian food for a long time. I want to understand, obviously things have changed with Cafe Diva, Atrangi, your latest restaurant in Dubai. I want to understand what helped you move past that fear, and how did you kind of do that after so many years of doing Italian food?
When I started with Italian, don't forget, I was also very young.
Yes.
Not a trained chef. So in a way, Italian was the easy path for me. Okay. Mm-hmm. Because what scared me about Indian food was basically the complexity of it. Yeah. So much as I love, my favorite food has always been Italian and ghar ka khana, but I was too scared because I didn't have that confidence in me. And what you've missed out is between Italian and Indian between Cittamani and Atrangi. I also opened a couple of Asian restaurants.
Yes.
Okay, which closed. So for me, I think it was very important to not restrict myself to just one cuisine and try to experiment with as many cuisines, especially the foods that I loved. And I started my career more or less after Mezzaluna with an Indian restaurant. So don't forget that. But correct, there I wasn't in the kitchen. And I'm 52. Now I'm confident about Indian food, still a long way to go. Who knows, my next venture just maybe trying to learn African or Latin American. If you don't challenge yourself, I mean, what the hell are you doing? I've never aspired to get Michelin stars. I've never aspired to, be in 50 best. That's not what I've ever aspired. But when I die, at least I will be able to say, I'm a chef who could cook Indian, who could cook Italian, who could cook Asian, and was never scared of trying a new cuisine.
Yeah, absolutely. So in 2017, you were awarded the highest Italian civil award. And the same year is when you opened Cittamani in Milan, which is your Indian restaurant in Milan. Talk to me about that moment. Like, was it on one hand, you were being honored by the Italian government with this great stamp of approval that great, you're finally fully Italian and we approve. And then on the other hand, you're like, no, let me push the boundaries a little bit
of
and
course,
let me try and
absolutely,
go on this new adventure.
Absolutely. Can't take coal to Newcastle. Okay, talking about things. So I have, again, like I said, modesty is not my strength. I truly believe I taught India how to eat Italian. Okay. It was a pioneer. Mezzaluna was a pioneer. Even Diva, when it opened, it was still a pioneer in the standalone sector.
100%. Yeah.
And the same thing was with Cittamani. Cittamani was a pioneer in Italy for real Indian food. So what can I do? I was born to do social service. I was born to be a teacher. I was born to teach Indians how to eat Italian and Italians how to eat Indian. So these are my karmas. What can I say?
So that's what you were talking about. You were born to teach and born to sort of represent these cuisines on both sides. Talk to me about this role about being an interpreter. Because on either side, you've kind of been this interpreter of cuisines. Culturally, do you see any similarities between India and
Why
Italy?
do you think I manage and why do I love these two countries? Because, I mean, the color may be different, the weather may be different, but the mentality, the culture, it's more or less the same. Okay?
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Family is big.
Yeah. And like I said, an Italian gives me a price of 100. I will say 20 and we will settle on 50. Exactly like what I would do in INA market or a fish market. Okay? Even if I'm getting cheated, it'll be with a smile and I'll know that I'm getting cheated. As you said, family is huge. Cuisine is huge. Today, the only country in Europe where you still see children staying with their parents after they have even gotten married is Italy. Italy is a very rich culture of food.
Yeah.
India is also a very rich culture of food. And a sense of generosity. Okay? Hospitality is big for us. We will invite them home for a meal. Okay? If we know someone. It's the same in Italy. You go to other parts of Europe, whether it's France, whether it's Germany, you may know someone for 10 years and you will meet often in restaurants and public places. But getting invited at someone's home doesn't happen. So it's their borders.
Yeah.
And with Italians, there are no borders like Indians. So for me, as I said, it's just two sides of the coin.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. That's a very interesting way of looking at it. So, of course, you've evolved Diva from a single restaurant into this massive empire.
Hardly.
No, it is. It's really a
Diva turns 25 years this year.
Yes, yes.
I'm ancient, old.
I mean, it's a huge accomplishment. Like, how many standalone restaurants can say that they've survived for so long? It's in this market. It's huge. Yeah. Was there a point when you tasted some success, and then you were like, okay, now this is now I know that I want to keep pushing and I want to sort of take this to the world?
I'm not a very ambitious person. Okay, I'm very impulsive. There's a very big difference. And for me, success has never been in terms of money. Okay, I think I'm the poorest restaurateur amongst everyone. Because as I said, it has never been the reason why I have done what I have done. Okay. Right. And it was never a plan. I'll be honest with you. When I opened Mezzaluna, okay, the first one, what was my dream? It was originally meant to be a bookshop, okay, with a little cafe. And I thought I love to read. So I thought, okay, I'll get all these books to read for free. And even coffee I will get for free.
Great business plan.
This was 31 years ago. Can I tell you how I wish so badly I could go back to it? How I wish I could go back to it. So nothing was ever planned, Smitha.
Yeah.
Everything just happened on a matter of impulse. So Cittamani, I'll tell you Milan. How did it happen? I'd gone for Expo. Okay, Expo was in 2015, at the Milan Expo. Expo changed that city. And suddenly there were restaurants, Asian restaurants, as good as you would eat in London. But there was no good Indian restaurant. The Indian restaurant market was still that very cheap curry and beer, which used to be in UK 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a momentary decision. There hasn't been a turning point. You talk about TV. When you talked about NDTV, I used to always say, I will never do TV shows. Okay. Then I said, I will never write books because only fake chefs sit and do TV shows and books. Okay. I did both. I told you I wanted to run one single restaurant with a blackboard menu. And look, here we are talking about Italy, Dubai, Bombay, Delhi.
Yeah.
I'm just a fake. I'm just full of contradictions. What else can I say? I think that sums it all.
So fair enough. Okay, so you were talking about this, your affinity to keep contradicting yourself. But what I've loved about your cookbooks and watching you on TV is just you seemed so happy talking about food. And just like the storytelling aspect around food really seems to light you up. Did this, when you got into storytelling around food, did that sort of shift how you see your role in the culinary world, as a storyteller, as a chef, as a cook?
So, I've always been a storyteller. Okay, since
You're a
I was a
storyteller. I can keep.
Okay, for me, if you cannot dazzle them with your brilliance, baffle them with your bullshit. Okay, this is what I've always followed. Every dish that I have a story about is related to a memory, to a person, to a place. This is my culinary education. It has always been. Okay, right from, I saw Mezzaluna's menu. I found it the other day.
Wow.
There's one dish, but there's a 20-line story behind every dish.
Amazing.
It's embarrassing. No, it was embarrassing. Okay, it's bloody embarrassing. When I saw that, I said, what the fuck? It's a novella or it's a menu? But my role has changed a lot in the last many years, but not because of storytelling. I'm sitting here in Bombay today, as you know, because I have to make the new menu for Motodo, and I'm flying to Dubai to make the new menu of Atrangi. Now my cooking really happens more when the menu changes happen. And I think my role has become more of a trainer now than the chef. And honestly, I like this. I like this role quite a bit also, because don't forget, it's a very hard job. It's physically daunting. And I don't think I can stand in the kitchen for 15 hours, 7 days a week anymore. I've done it. I've done my bit.
What are some of your favorite dishes or favorite memories that have inspired some dishes?
Okay, so one dish which is always there in all my restaurant, it's not really a dish. It's actually a biscuit that I serve with my coffees. It's called Biscotti Regina. Okay. It's been there for 32 years. From Mezzaluna days till now, it is served with every coffee. And when I had, I was still working in my father's business and I had gone to Sicily. That's where my first taste of real Italian food came, with 3 or 4 very old ladies who are icons. One passed away, Anna Tascalanza. The other was Faith Willinger, who lives in Florence. Great personality. Third was Mary Taylor Simetti, who wrote many books about the nuns of Erice who used to make the Italian marzipan. And they taught me a biscuit, and I was a vegetarian those days. So all the cooking lessons were fish, meat, etc. And I remember every night I used to tiptoe to the kitchen when everyone was fast asleep and take that jar of Biscotti Regina and stuff it like that, because I was starving, hungry all the time. So it's a very simple biscotti made with just flour, eggs, and sesame seed. And it's so delicious. It's so comforting. Like I said, it's there till now, 32 years, we are serving it every day. But if you were to really ask me, my one dish, which has always been a favorite and will always be, and my go-to dish, is a simple spaghetti with tomato and basil. Even now, when, things don't look so well in my life, a bowl of spaghetti and fresh tomato sauce, and things look a little bit better.
Oh, that's so lovely.
Told you I'm a storyteller.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So you've spent over 2 decades, building an audience in Delhi, expanding to Bombay, Dubai, Milan. How is it different when you're designing a restaurant for different cities? Like, is there anything that sort of shifts? Like, how is a Delhi versus Bombay? How is a Dubai versus a Milan? Like, are those things that you sort of need to keep in mind?
It has to. You have to. And again, something which I've learned from many mistakes I've made in my life. So, Dubai is loud. Okay, it's flashy. It's a great city for a restaurant, and I'm very grateful for the business that we get there and the appreciation we have got there. But the build-up of that city is very different from any other place. So Atrangi is, it's one of the few restaurants where the look, feel, decor, location mattered as much as everything else. Milan, on the other hand, the Italians are not fans of big restaurants.
Right.
For them, dinner's about intimacy, it's about coziness, it's about great food at a certain price level. And you've been to Cittamani. You went to Cittamani, right?
Yeah.
So Cittamani is not a large restaurant. It's a 45-seater, cozy restaurant, very, how shall I say, warm in its ambience. So the Cittamani food and Atrangi food in a way similar, but the difference is in Cittamani, it is still served in a home style way because that's what people appreciated.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we come to touchy grounds, Bombay and Delhi. Okay. I used to always say I'll never open in Bombay. For years I said that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's because I didn't know Bombay. So, what you don't know, you get defensive about it and get all cocky and arrogant about it. Bombay, what I love is the sense of discipline with everyone. Okay. The people who work here, people who, it's also a city which I have seen, evolve where food is concerned.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
The way amazing restaurants have come up in Mumbai, it hasn't come up in Delhi. Saying that,
Yeah.
Delhi is a lot more loyal city. Let's say if the food went little bit from 20 to 18, people wouldn't mind in Mumbai because it's the going out, it's the experience as a whole.
Yeah.
In Delhi, if my food went from 20 to 19.8, my happiness is over. Messages will start coming, calls will start coming. I have 85 to 88% regular clients in Delhi. Over 25 years.
Wow. That's amazing.
Okay.
It's incredible.
It's like I said, sometimes I feel like I'm a Moti Mahal or something like that because, as I said, we've seen kids who used to come as children
Yeah.
come and propose to their girlfriends. Then we do their wedding catering. Then we do the baby's mundan. It's like
This whole life cycle.
There are two girls I know who are called Diva because their mothers went into labor after eating at Diva.
Oh my God.
Okay, so it makes you feel old and jaded, but yet the satisfaction I get from my Delhi restaurant, from that point of view, I think Bombay, it'll take a few more years for me.
Okay, fair enough. So, as a chef, you have a very unique you have a very unique issue, I feel, because you deal with multi-race kitchens. Often there's a language barrier. There's a cultural barrier, like, how someone gestures something is not the same in another culture.
Like, what are you talking about? What are you saying, huh?
Exactly.
Yes.
And if you do that to maybe someone in Delhi, they might get highly offended.
Yes.
So how do you navigate these things? Because it's difficult to navigate such a diverse set of people and actually lead them to creating a beautiful meal.
So, I've had some successes, but I've also had some failures. Okay. I was lucky with Italy, as I said, because I spoke the language. So, I can do this very well and I know all the abuses very well. And so Italy was easy.
Yeah.
But where I failed, believe it or not, was in England.
Okay.
In England, both when Vama was happening and later I did some consultancy for our partners, the Max Group people who have a beautiful hotel there called Linthwaite House in Lake District. So I was doing the food, the whole restaurant setup for them to begin with. And believe it or not, because I couldn't navigate with the local people there, I actually gave up. It's one of my great failures of life. But it was, it's not about a culture, different culture. It's also about whether you're in a city or a village. That makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Okay? Milan was a city, is a city. Okay? Dubai is a city, a multicultural city. Same with, whilst in Linthwaite House, I was in Lake District in middle of nowhere. And 90% of my people there were the local people. And I couldn't hack it. I couldn't hack it. I think you have to be on culturally more or less the same wavelength for you to succeed. If you cannot, and if you're not on the same, you will not succeed.
Okay, that's interesting. You've also talked about how you've had the same team over the years. You've had some people who've been with you since Mezzaluna. How do you
They just retired, couple of them, because they reached that retirement age.
Amazing. But I mean, that's incredible. I don't think any other restaurant has that in terms of like someone starting their career and ending their career at the same place. How do you look at like mentorship and retention? Because that's such a big challenge for so many restaurateurs.
So, I've been scolded at also for the way I work with my team and praised for it also. Okay. My fault, which is also my blessing, is maybe it's being a woman or whatever. I've always formed an emotional bond with my team. Okay. And it's not always good. And sometimes it's painful, both for the team members as well as for me. But yet it's also very rewarding when you see someone who has joined, as you said, their careers, started their careers and ended their careers with us.
It's incredible.
I think, again, what I told you in the early, I like to teach. I like to train. So even now in Diva, like I said, our manager at Diva, Ramesh, I interviewed him when Diva was getting constructed. Okay, in 1999, outside in the parking lot, overlooking the garden, because there was no place to stand or talk. And his name is Ramesh. He's now our senior manager at Diva. And he was about 20-year-old that time, as a junior commie waiter. And whatever I used to tell him, it used to take him 6 times to understand it. So I used to say, "Tum Ram Bharose hi kar paoge kuch." And that name Ram Bharose has stuck. Okay. So everyone calls him Ram Bharose ji. Okay. Now he's got gray hair like me, little bit belly has come out, glasses has come, and he's there for 25 years now.
Wow.
And that is really something I'm proud of. I mean, not only that, if you look at Cittamani, okay, our head chef there, Bishnu, started his career with me again in Diva in 2001. Okay, worked with me for 10 years, then worked in several other places, came back to me, always cooked international food. And today he's running my Indian kitchen there. And what a fabulous job he's doing. Aniket, who's a young chef in Atrangi, bright lad. Again, always done international food. And he has found his path in Indian food. So you also got to give people, because you see, everyone needs to also know what path they want to take.
Yeah.
And if you don't give them a chance, then I'll say, you're doing something wrong. So I have another reason for it. I mean, all these kids, we have a lot of kids from Diva who have become very successful. There's, Aku's Burger, Akriti in Delhi. There's Madhav in Miguel's in Goa, and several, Anumitra in Goa.
Ritu Dalmia.
No, I always say, I get free meals in all these places, so I'm sorting myself out that I never have to pay for any meal anywhere I go,
That's a great plan.
Yes,
very smart.
Yes.
It's like this nice long-term plan. That you figured out.
Totally.
Awesome. Okay, so speaking about long-term plans, there's also this one aspect of your business that we haven't talked about, which is catering, which is really, I mean, that's sort of been such a powerful part of Diva's growth story. I don't think there has been a high-profile Indian wedding that Diva has not been a part of. So talk to me about how catering is different from running a restaurant.
I have to admit, I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of it only for one reason. They're amazing chefs across the country, across the world. But majority of them cannot replicate the same food when they have to do for 500 people.
Yeah.
They're very comfortable doing it for 10, 20, 30, 50. But when it comes to doing a catering, many of them fail. And like I said, in our catering, not only Diva cooks, but Diva also curates, which means I bring talent from across the world, to put together an unforgettable meal experience.
Yeah.
Saying that, the logistics is completely different.
Yeah.
Okay. Restaurant is a day-to-day fight. Okay. Every day is a new story. Catering, planning starts 3 to 4 months, sometimes even a year in advance.
Right.
And if you don't have your planning in place, however good your cuisine will be, you will get, plain and simple. In some ways, my organizational skills have honed up with catering. I'll tell you if you have 2 minutes, my first catering experience was in 2002. No, I'm sorry. What the hell am I saying? Not 2002, 94.
Okay, wow.
In Mezzaluna, I was asked by a guest to cater for their mother's 60th birthday, 40 people dinner. And who later turned into my business partner in Diva, Geeta. And she said, have you catered before? I was so broke. I said, hundreds of caterings, no problem at all. She said, okay. Menu was decided. There was a chicken, there was a fish, there were 2 pasta dishes and 2 vegetarian dishes and 1 dessert. Wonderful. So I sit to make the quantities. Okay. I said, there are 50 people. Let's do 10 pieces of chicken. Let's do 10 pieces of fish. Let's do 10 pieces of crepes, 10 pieces of tart, 3 portions of this pasta, 3 portions of that pasta. That's 65 portions. I think it should be enough for, again, waiters. Never all, even Mezzaluna had all young Turks who had never worked in a restaurant or a catering, forget about any. So there, with the whole chicken roasted cut, they're going around in a single plate like you plate it to the guest. Again, prawns going like this. People are picking up and eating them.
Yeah.
And then they say, where's dinner? I said, but we just served the dinner. Okay. And immediately Geeta had to order butter chicken, dal or whatever from whichever restaurant.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. Next day I went to her office to apologize with, and she had already paid me. So I was hoping like hell she will not ask for her money back. And she said, you've never catered before, have you? I said, no, I've not. So she didn't take her money back. But as I said, it was a lesson that I learned that service in restaurant and planning in restaurant has nothing to do with catering.
Yeah.
But what I love about catering is I am researching every day. And there's so much knowledge that I have learned because of catering. Every day I'm meeting a new chef. I'm sending my teams to small villages in India, to small places, to go and find something which you would not find regularly or anywhere else. And catering gives me that playground to do that. That was a long answer. Wow.
No, but that's so interesting because a lot of people usually say that, catering, it's sort of a formula that you stick to, kind of a plug and play model. And you're saying basically the complete opposite.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'm not a regular caterer. Okay, we may be, as you said, preferred caterers of some, or we may be, people choose us because of our quality. But if you look at our catering turnover, or catering, I think we are one of the smallest amongst the catering community, because we cannot do more than what we are doing with the formula that we follow.
Wow.
Okay. Now, let's say you're still young, but let's say when your 50th birthday will come, okay, I will chat with you first. I will ask you about your memories between ages 1 to 10, 10 to 20, your favorite eating places, your nostalgic moments. And that's how I will make your menu. Because, as I said, just the way restaurants tell a story, caterings also have to tell a story. If the food doesn't have a story, there is, I don't want to do it then. Catering in India is so much more advanced than anywhere else in the world, because Indians, don't forget, have very high expectation. Food is very important for them in irrespective what price bracket, or what cuisine. It's the most important aspect of their event, whether it be a wedding, whether it may be whatever it may be. And what's also happened, which is beautiful, is curiosity. So, I have a wedding happening in December, and the young bride studied in Florence. Okay, so she has memories of this little ice cream shop, or that little pasta, which was the cheapest pasta shop for students. Okay. And for me, I want to recreate that for her.
Okay, so obviously, a lot of people know this about you, but you were one of the petitioners for the Supreme Court case that decriminalized homosexuality in India. That's a very rare courage to have, especially for someone who lives their life so much in the public eye. Uh, did you did you face any kind of backlash, or was it the opposite when it came to all of this at that time? Did you ever think that, okay, this may impact my business in some way, or was it just like, let's do this and see what happens?
So, as I told you, I'm impulsive. Okay. I was on a flight with Menika Guruswamy, who was the lawyer for this case for me.
Yeah.
And she had gone there for some other land case in Goa. And I was just saying, what happened? It's so disappointing, And I used to fund the movement but I was never wanted to be in the forefront. Never, not for any other reason. As is always said, I'm a chef who happens to be a lesbian. Okay. And I said, why was that Supreme Court decision the way it was in 2013? I don't know if you know it, but the Supreme Court justice, the judge said, what is gay?
Yeah.
ये क्या होता है? हमको तो पता ही नहीं है. And Menika made a very interesting point. She said, so far, all the petitioners have always been either parents or NGOs or school teachers. No one really has made an effort as a gay person or a lesbian person to make a petition to that level of the court. I said, then do it. And she says, will you sign up for it? I said, yeah, I will. Okay.
Wow.
Honestly, from 2015 till 2017, when the judgment came, if I had known what the repercussions would be, I'm not sure whether I would have signed up for it. Okay, I think I changed my Twitter account twice. Now I don't even look it up because it was full of assaults.
Gosh.
It was dirty. Okay. Someone stopped me at the airport once, abused me in choicest of Hindi words. A lot of people at work got worried that it's a criminal offense and you have put yourself, how does it affect your being a partner or a director in the company? And honestly, there were moments when I said, what the hell have I got myself into and why did I do it? The day the judgment came, okay, I was in London that day at Linthwaite, believe it or not, where already those guys were giving me so much heartache. It was 6 a.m. when they put on that feed. I just sat. I didn't want to take any calls. Phone kept on ringing non-stop, people, press. I didn't take any calls. I didn't speak to any press, nothing, because it was just so much for me to take. And today, I'm very proud of my restaurants. I'm very proud of everything I do. But if you were to ask me one single proudest thing I am, is finding that courage to do it. And it's really, like I said, it's something I'm so proud of and so happy that I did it. Will I do it again? No, because the path has been opened. Yeah. And now the young kids, now anyone and everyone can file, and they should do it.
Okay, so Ritu, you've said many times that you're going to slow down and you're going to take it easy. And then 5 months later, I see news about Ritu Dalmia is launching this new restaurant or launching this new concept. What's next for Ritu and for
I don't
Diva?
know. I don't know. Every time I really don't know. As I said, I'm contradiction. I'm a liar. I'm fake. Even if I say something will change tomorrow. But how shall I say? I live in Goa. My aim is to spend more time there. I officially live there, but if I look at my last 1 year, I've spent maybe 5 or 6 days in a month. I've started teaching at the Lalit Academy to some of the children from different spectrums, background, etc. I'm loving it. I'm loving it like how I can't even explain to you. So that's something I want to continue. That's for my personal growth. That's for Diva. I have no clue, darling. We'll see. Something exciting comes, I'll say yes to it, or you will just, like I said, whatever I say will be a lie, so it doesn't matter.
Fair enough. So after 25 years of Diva, you've obviously seen the scene change so much. Is there something that you wish you'd known before you started?
It's a very hard job. It is emotionally, physically, heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching. It's a job where many turn into alcoholics. It's a job where majority of the marriages don't last. Okay? And you're not doing anyone any favors by showing how hardworking you are or how dedicated you are to your job. And if you don't learn how to make a balance between your work and life, don't take up this career because it'll destroy you. I learned that a bit late in my life, and today I'm very clear. Today I'm very clear that my work life is as important as my personal life. It is a job where, I always remember this Kitchen Confidential. It was one of the first few books that I read, where kitchen life, and I was very excited and enamored by it.
Yeah.
And there's a phase in it where he says, ask me all the things I love about my job. I hate about my job. And I would say long hours, the sweat, the heat, antisocial life, trying to get drunk to sleep after work. These are the things I hate about my job. He says, get me drunk and ask me all the things I love about my job. The heat, the sweat, the antisocial. It's really addictive.
Yeah.
It's addictive in a way. It's also superficial. Okay? Because restaurant people think is very glamorous. Oh, you're out there like the Queen Sheba. Everyone is at your mercy. It's not real. It's not real. And you got to understand that, and you got to make that distinction.
Incredible. Wow. Thank you. Lovely. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was great. I want to play a little game with you before we go. We can get to the fun part.
You want to play a game with me, Smitha? Are you sure? You don't want to change that phrase there, maybe? God
so this
bless
is a
me,
very
make me
PG-13 game.
Yes.
Basically, it's about pairing dishes with music and moods.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So I'm going to give you a situation, and you have to give me a song that you'd play and a dish that you'd prepare while this is happening.
Okay.
Yeah. So your first situation is you're cooking to impress a crush. What are you making and what's playing?
Okay. So I'm playing My All by Mariah Carey. And I am cooking poached prawns in a saffron broth with just a little bit of micro herb and burnt butter.
Yum. Okay, fantastic.
Simple.
It sounds delicious. Okay. You are cooking and you're homesick in a foreign kitchen. What are you listening to? What are you cooking?
Okay. I'm listening to Jai Ho, A.R. Rahman. And I'm cooking a khichdi.
Fair. Okay. 100% khichdi all the way. Number one fan of khichdi.
Yes.
Okay. You have just got a terrible review in a major publication. and you're pissed off and you're like rage cooking, what are you cooking and what are you listening to?
I'm listening to Immortal, Evanescence, okay, Serious Rage, and I am cooking a gnocchi with gorgonzola sauce. Gorgonzola is the strength. I will not let myself down. I am strong.
Spunky, yeah. Okay, fantastic. Your heart has just been broken, and you're cooking to pick yourself up. What are you cooking and what's playing?
I'm playing my all again because that's what got my heart going in the first place. So I'm heartbroken, so I need to indulge more and more in self-pity. So that's the song that has to play all over again. And now I need to cook a spaghetti tomato sauce.
Fair. Comfort food.
I need to get my
spirit back up.
Spirit back.
Okay, it's 2 a.m. You've come back from a great night out. You're quite tipsy and you're cooking. What's in the pan and what you're listening to?
So, right now my 2 a.m. meal is very contrived, I have to admit, after reading the book Butter. Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't know if you've read it.
Yes.
And so it is lots of sticky rice with 2 big knobs of butter and just a dash of soya. That's in my pan. Okay. And what is playing is an amazing, amazing singer called Mise Higgins. Mm-hmm. She's an Australian singer. And the song that is playing is, which one? Oh my God, there's so many that I love of hers. Actually, you know what? I change.
Okay.
Am I allowed to change?
Of course.
It is still butter with rice.
Okay.
Okay, but the song that is playing is Bad Company. Feel like making love. Feel like making love. Feel like making love to you. I'm tipsy.
Fabulous. That was amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
This has
Game's
been so
over.
much fun. Well, we can keep going.
No. Thank you very much. I need to go back to my kitchen. Menu is waiting.
Fair enough. But really, it's been a true honor and a pleasure.
No, it's a pleasure, Smitha, and hope to see you soon.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me. I had a blast. Bye-bye. See
Bye.
you.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to show us some love. Hit like, drop a comment, and scribble it in chutney. We're on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever food memories live. And tell us, which dish from your childhood lives rent-free in your head?